Good evening, everyone. How is everybody doing?
Doing good, Doc. How about yourself?
Doing great.
Good.
Good evening. Doing fine, thank
Great,
you.
Doing great.
great.
Good.
So we have a very interesting discussion tonight. And before we get to the last portion of our discussion, which is going to review uh, what or which area of cybersecurity or which path is the highest paying career path. Before we get there, we're probably going to allow, a few of us to make some suggestions and, come up with some what do you think is the highest paying areas of cybersecurity. And then we are all going to walk through the journey of concluding for ourselves. And everything that we're going to discuss is based on facts, not what Dr. Edu thinks or, suggestions or what maybe we've heard or we've heard somebody say. So, very interesting discussion tonight. You are all welcome. This is Eretmis Cyber Chat. We do this every Friday night. If you are new to the Eretmis family, we encourage you to join this every Friday night. You are going to learn a lot. As a cybersecurity professional currently working, or if you are aspiring to break into the cybersecurity space, this is always a place that you can come to learn and also fellowship. Network with like-minded cybersecurity professionals on here. Right. So I appreciate everybody's time. It's Friday night. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here to share the knowledge and to, be with like-minded cybersecurity professionals and to grow as a cybersecurity professional as well. So I really appreciate that. And we are jumping in for tonight's discussion. So as we are going through some housekeeping, if you have any questions, you can always raise your virtual hand and then we'll give you the floor and you'll be able to ask your question. Right. So with that, we are going to jump in. So tonight's discussion is, I'll put it in a question form. What is the highest paying cybersecurity career path or career paths that we can identify within the cybersecurity field? So this cuts across all different sectors of cybersecurity, all niches of cybersecurity, right? So whatever niche, GRC, in the risk side, in compliance side, whichever area of cybersecurity, there's some, framework specialization. This cuts across all of cybersecurity. So it's a very interesting discussion. This is brought to you by Eretmis Academy. We're a cybersecurity institute based out of New York. We train cybersecurity professionals from scratch to where they can start working as security professionals. And we also have specialty areas that you can always look into. So tonight, I'm going to be the only pilot for this session. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Edu. I'm the CEO of Eretmis Inc., cybersecurity consulting firm. I'm also the founder of Eretmis Academy, a cybersecurity institute, training institute based out of New York. I'm a former United States Army captain. I am also PCI QSA, and our company, Eretmis Inc., is a PCI QSA company. So we are PCI qualified assessors. We do PCI DSS audits, and we also do other projects in the cybersecurity space, right? Everything and anything cybersecurity we do. And also a former professor at University of Maryland Global Campus and CTC as well, and a member of the Forbes Technology Council. So that is a little bit about me. Now let's jump in. So for Eretmis Academy, we are CompTIA authorized partners, and what this means is that CompTIA gives us 20% discount on all vouchers, and we push that down to everybody who joins us for Cyber Chat and for all our Eretmis members, right? So if you are looking to sit for any of the CompTIA certification exams, you can reach out. Now, this is how it works. We don't have voucher numbers. They don't give us voucher numbers that we give you. That would have been easy and simple for us. What we do is you are going to send us your money minus the 20%, and then we purchase the vouchers on your behalf. So we have a platform as an authorized partner. We purchase the vouchers on your behalf, and then we send you the voucher numbers or the voucher code, right? So that is how it works. Some people think we have the exams coupons and we can give you that. Unfortunately, they don't do that. So we purchase it through our platform, and then that is how you get a 20% discount, right? So for us, It's even too much work for us, right? You sending us the money. Mostly we have you send it through PayPal. PayPal is going to deduct some, change from it, and then we have to buy and then send it. But we are doing all that for the love of the family, right? It's not like we get anything out of this. We really don't. It's too much work for us anyways, right? But we do that to help, and then also for you to see that if you join Cyber Chat, at least you're going to get something, if not for anything, 20% off or of any CompTIA certification that you're trying to write. Now, some people also reach out and ask, hey, I want to write CISA, or I want to write CISSP. For those organizations, they don't have any discount program going on. So if they do, we will join and make sure you also get that discount as well. But for now, they don't. Right. Now, for anyone who has been in the security space, if you've written any exam, Security Plus, Security Analyst, CISA, you know that after 3 years, you have to renew, right? Now, even for CISA and CISSP and the rest, you don't have to wait for the 3 years. Every year, you have to show that you have 20 points in terms of continual educational points. And that is how you are going to renew your certification when the time comes for you to renew. So when you join this program on Friday nights in the chat, kindly put hashtag Team Live in there and take a screenshot of that. That counts as one. I think an hour of this program counts as one continuous educational point that you can use for your certification renewal, right? So kindly, and if you want to learn more about how to go about using your continual education to renew, if you go to the website of the various certification bodies, you'll be able to see the instructions on there exactly, right? But what you need from this is what I've told you, right? So with that, we are going to move on. Now for our WhatsApp group, we have Cyber Chat WhatsApp group specifically for Cyber Chat, and all Cyber Chat events are posted in there. The link is going to be posted for you to join if you are not already part of it. Now, today on that group, there was an incident which we've had on our main group before. So mostly on WhatsApp, and I want everybody to really pay attention to this. The WhatsApp platform allows everybody to see everybody's number on there, right? So if you join a group, everybody on the group can see your number. So admin has nothing to do with that, or admin cannot prevent that. So if, and we don't know everybody's intention for joining the group, right? So if somebody on the group decides to be an insider threat or an insider threat actor, and they pick your number and they call you, mostly what they do is called WhatsApp takeover attack, right? So they will call you and tell you, hey, Eretmis is having cyber chat, so we're sending you a code, give us the code back and for us to confirm. All of that is a scam, right? If anybody calls you from Eretmis, supposedly to be from Eretmis, and they are sending you a pin and you have to tell them the pin, Eretmis don't do that. And anybody and everybody who's been here knows that, right? So if you fall for that, then maybe probably you're not paying attention to everything that we are preaching on cyber chats, right? Some 2-3 years ago, they were still doing the same trick, and they to the point where they told somebody Eretmis is having a prayer meeting, and that person actually gave them the code and they took over his WhatsApp. After that, it was when he was calling the actual Eretmis number to find out if we were having like, no, you should have called first before giving them anything, right? So on any WhatsApp group that you might be in, be aware of that, because what these attackers do is that, and I think maybe probably when I finish with this, some of you might have some input to this. What they do is, let me walk you through how this attack works. So they will get a phone, right? Download WhatsApp on there, put your number in there. So they are trying to take over your WhatsApp, right? When they put your number in there, it's like you had a new phone and you wanted to switch your WhatsApp to that phone, right? You put in your WhatsApp, your number, which you have the SIM card for, then WhatsApp will send you a PIN on your SIM card, now in the form of text message, and you put in the PIN, and then they can confirm that it is actually you. Now, what attackers are doing is, as they are talking to you, they will put your number in the new WhatsApp they've created. They will hit go, and then the PIN will come to your phone. So probably if you're not using like a hands-free or earpiece, but the phone is on your ear, all that you're going to hear is a message that you have and they are talking to you. So that will distract you. This is all part of social engineering attack. That will distract you. You just look at, you're not even going to open the full message. You just pull down and you see the code on there. You tell them the code, and then that's it. They take over your WhatsApp. Now, this is the trick. When they take over your WhatsApp, you have the SIM card, so you can easily, go back into your WhatsApp and type in your number. They will send you a new PIN to you, right? So you take back your WhatsApp. Now the trick here is what they do is when they do that, they know you can easily take back your WhatsApp. So what they do is they will find a new phone, right? Or like they have a new phone with the new WhatsApp downloaded on it. Now they'll put in your number again. And then because they don't have the PIN, they will type in the wrong PIN for like 3 or 4 times. And then WhatsApp, when you do that, you type in the PIN for more than 3 times, it will block your WhatsApp for 12 hours. Right. So now when you realize by the time you realize they've taken over your WhatsApp and you are trying to get it back, they've actually entered the wrong PIN in a different phone for so many times. Now they took over your WhatsApp, right? And they're going to have it for 12 hours. And for the 12 hours, they are contacting everybody on your contacts. They have seen all the chats that you have. They've seen all the groups you are in. So they'll try to play the same game with people in your other groups. And then they will send people messages, you are stuck somewhere, you need money. And then, if people fall for it, they will send them the money before they call you to verify. Right. So that's the easiest way to go about this is unsolicited call. Eretmis is not going to call you and ask you for any PIN, right? If you think Eretmis called you, drop the call the Eretmis number or send a text to the Eretmis number to verify, right? Not after the fact. That is when you are coming back to put it on the platform. Hey, somebody, tried to scam me. I mean, at that point, before it's too late, before you give them the PIN, you should put it on the platform and ask before you do that, right? And they've been playing these games with our groups the whole time. And I think for our main group, people know way much better to fall for this. Now, a way to go about this is on WhatsApp, you can also implement what we call multi-factor authentication or dual factor authentication, right? So if you set that up, we put that on both platforms today. If you don't know how to do that, you can walk yourself through to do that, right? This is cybersecurity on a personal level. So if you are not paying attention and you can easily fall for this, then I think you can fall for anything because this is one silly attack that nobody should fall for, right? If anybody calls you, and even if it's not about Eretmis and they are sending you a PIN or a code for you to send them back, or they send you a link to click on, please don't. That is how they begin with their phishing attacks, which fall under social engineering attack. And we've talked about this so many times, right? So that was just to give a little bit insight into what is going on, and for everybody to be much more aware of this, right? So and you can also let us know where you're joining us from. Put that in the chat. We'll give you some shout out as we are going through once we are done, right? Now, I know there is a hand up. I'm going to give you the platform when we go through cyber news. I'll give you the chance to. I think we can probably even have. I think it was good luck. You can go ahead and if you've experienced this, you can bring it up and maybe what you did that didn't allow them to be able to take over your WhatsApp. Go ahead. Good luck.
Thank you, Doctor. So yesterday I was on the computer and I got a call. It was a 90 number, like a Google number. So the call came in all of a sudden and said, "Oh, did you get a message from the group?" So I was like, "Okay." He said, "We are having a meeting." So because I know we have a group, so okay, oh, let me go and check the group. He said, "No, no, no, I sent you the message, check." And lo and behold, when I open my WhatsApp, there is a number. I mean, there's a pin already. So he said, "Okay, tell me the pin." I said, what's this?" I was asking the question. He just ran away. So I'm like, "Oh, is this what it was?" So that was when I realized that he was it was a scam. And I tried to call the number back, and it was a Google number. You can't trace the number, So uh, I wanted to screenshot it and paste it, but I have my private information, so I couldn't post it on the group. So that was my uh, experience, my first time experiencing that. But I knew you can't tell me there's a message in the group and then you're asking me at the same time to give you the code. It wasn't adding up because I didn't see any message in the group. So it was just a common sense I applied and it ran away. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Aaron, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Doug. As you said, I mean, we are all here to defeat the very purpose for which it happened today. So I believe, to make WhatsApp secure, we should just set up the two-factor authentication, and we should be fine. That's all I wanted to say.
Yes, thank you, Aaron, and rightly so. So, I mean, so for folks who don't know what the two-factor authentication is going to be, so once you set that up, WhatsApp is going to allow you to, input a PIN, and only you will know that PIN. So even if maybe probably you're not paying attention and somebody tries to take over your WhatsApp and they tell you, okay, tell me the code. Once you tell them the code and they put in the code, WhatsApp is still going to ask them for the PIN that only you created. So now they don't have that PIN. And they will have to ask you to tell them your PIN, your WhatsApp PIN. Though at that point, you are eventually probably going to catch up and see what they are doing, right? So that is what the two-factor authentication will help you to do, right? So hopefully everybody is good on that part. Now, with that being said, also for our YouTube, we are transmitting this live on YouTube, so you can join us on YouTube, and the video is going to be ready on YouTube whenever we are done. So, and also we are going to post the recording on YouTube as well, right? And time check, we are 27 minutes in. We are almost, I think, at 90, 89, 90 on here. So tonight we will be looking at very interesting cyber news also as well, before we jump into which career path is the highest paying in the cybersecurity space, right? And with the cyber news, guess who is in the news? So TikTok is in the news again. And we all know last year we were counting down and looking at the band that was heading towards the way of TikTok, right? Now, they were lucky when President Trump took over, they kind of extended uh, the time within which the ban was going to be put in place. Now, President Trump has extended the deadline again for the next 75 days for TikTok because they are in talks with China and the owners of TikTok, and hopefully they are able to come up with something, right? So if you are not, I think everybody knows this because they took TikTok offline. So I mean, everybody here probably is using TikTok or has TikTok on your phone, or somebody has at least sent you a video that was a TikTok video. So you had to either download TikTok or watch it on TikTok, any one of those. In the US, TikTok was banned, I think December, thereabout. And when President Trump took over, or was it December, January, in between, when President Trump took over, he gave them that grace period and he's extended it again because they're in talks. And there are some businesses leading this bill forward, General Atlantic and another company, they are leading the talks for TikTok in the US. Now, there's been not rumors per se, but Walmart and other companies are trying to invest in TikTok. So they are trying to, I wouldn't say necessarily buy the whole of TikTok because the whole idea here was for TikTok to diversify their ownership. So Americans who own, part of it, and if they will still have Chinese own part of it, it's not going to be solely Chinese owned because they think that poses a security threat to the United States. So we are still waiting to see how that plays out. Now, on the other side, TikTok is still in the news for a second item on cyber news, right? So why is TikTok in the news again in a row? Now, this one is when I saw this, So this is not the President Trump's ban anymore, but TikTok is being sued by TikTok, right? You might be like, what? Yeah, TikTok is being sued. So TikTok Global is suing TikTok Inc. for kind of deceiving them. So they are seeking the court to give them some punitive action. I mean, they are trying to sue TikTok Inc. for a tune of $58 billion. And I mean, who when it comes to TikTok Inc. and TikTok Global? Anybody knows the difference between these two? Is it the same company suing the same company, or like what is really going on? Because I was surprised when, they sent me this news. I'm like, okay, who is TikTok Global and who is TikTok Inc.? I mean, they both have TikTok and TikTok. So is it the same company suing themselves, or what is really going on? Now, come to find out, TikTok Global uh, is a company that was put together by American investors. And the goal here was they were going to acquire the US operations of TikTok. Right. So, and this was, I think they had an agreement with TikTok Inc. So, TikTok Inc. is the original TikTok company that is based in China, right? Now, the owners of TikTok Inc. is, ByteDance, and their founder is Mr. Zhen, right? So, TikTok Inc. is the original TikTok company. TikTok Global was formed by some investors in the United States. And the goal, I think the agreement that they went was because you can't just use somebody's company's name without, because like that will violate, business stuff. So they had this agreement. So the investors created TikTok Global. And the reason was when this ban was looming, they were going to ban them in the United States. So TikTok Global was going to take over the United States operations, right? And, so they were already prepped to go, ready to take over the operations. And then TikTok Global feels like TikTok Inc. is pulling a fast one on them, right? So all along they had other plans, not really give them the US operations, but then they were kind of leading them on, and TikTok Global was thinking they were going to eventually take over and run the operations. So if they took over, then this problem wouldn't have been there because now TikTok United States operations will be owned by TikTok Global, which is a US company, right? But then TikTok Inc., the original TikTok company, had something else in mind, trying to do other business dealings outside the supposedly, the agreement they had with TikTok Global, right? So that is why TikTok Global is suing them for, the tunes of 58 billion. So let's see how that also plays out. But I think this was an interesting news. TikTok Global and TikTok Inc. I didn't really know about, TikTok Global, that there was TikTok Global and TikTok Inc., the actual TikTok company, right? So, but interesting. We learn something new every day. So, with that being said, we are going to jump into our discussion tonight, which is going to be very, very interesting. Now, before we do, if you are looking for any training that comes with internship on AI governance, this is the place to be. Now, our AI governance training, we hold live sessions during the weekdays, twice a week. And it comes with practical hands-on that you are going to be working on. If in your company, you're a security professional now, very soon your company is going to be looking at you for all their AI governance dealings, because AI governance is like the new GRC in the AI space. You are not going to be doing coding or any of that. You're not going to be the one, writing the code for the algorithms used in AI, but you are going to be the one looking at the governance, risks, and compliance of AI. There are a lot of AI compliance regulations that are coming up. There are some already. There are still some that are, gradually coming up. There's a lot of risks involved in the use of AI, implementation of AI, and there's a lot of compliance when it comes to standards and frameworks that are being created. So this area is still fairly new. So if you are looking to, jump ahead and be one of the pace setters in this space, you can look into jumping onto this course, right? So if you go to our website, you find more details on it. For cloud security, all security professionals, at least you should know how to move in the cloud, right? You should also know the GRC of cloud, right? So the governance, risks, and compliance of cloud. And you should know, getting your hands dirty, moving around in AWS, Azure, and all these other cloud environments. Though the principles of security still remain the same in there, but knowing security and also moving into the cloud and doing something in the cloud, not necessarily one of the same, right? But if you know security, it becomes a bit easier when you move into the cloud and you are doing stuff in the cloud. So you can join our cloud security, our cloud security class. This is a vendor neutral course. It cuts across AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, the three big cloud service providers out there, right? So also you can look into joining this. The new cohorts are going to start somewhere in May. So the date is yet to be put out. And then for folks looking to branch off into cybersecurity, totally new in cybersecurity or IT or cybersecurity entry level course is the place to be. This program takes you from taking you through the theory concepts, basics, fundamentals of cybersecurity all the way to intermediate level, and then, bridging the gap between theory and doing, right? So you can know all you want. If you don't do anything, you are of no use to employers, right? So your theory, your concepts, writing certifications, they are all good. But if you've never worked on any project, you've never worked on any project, and it's going to show. Even if they gave you the job without an interview, you are going to resign on your own. Nobody is going to force you out, but you are going to force yourself out. So if you want to have your peace of mind working in the security space, this is the course that is going to take you from scratch all the way to the end. It comes with 2 months of training, 2 months of internship and workshop, and then you are going to have on-demand mentors who have gone through the program and are currently working. They will help you through all stages of the program. And for folks already in the cybersecurity space or IT, if you're looking to specialize in the most lucrative, arguably the most lucrative niche in the cybersecurity space, then you can look into our PCI DSS program, right? Eretmis Inc. This is what we do for a living. And when we say it's lucrative, we know what we are talking about, right? So the PCI DSS, payment security compliance, this is a niche within the cybersecurity space that will help you to get to where you want to get to in your career path. And as we go through tonight's discussion, you are going to probably have a better appreciation of what I'm talking about. Now, for our GRC internship and workshop, this is the follow-up to our entry-level course. So for all our entry-level students, this is an added a second portion of what you're going to go through. For our non-entry level students, this is a workshop and it's a paid workshop, right? So as you go through you have to pay to get into this one, obviously. And two, what we do here is we work on real world projects. So like I said, you can learn all the theory and all the concepts as you want, and everything starts with knowledge. So you have to start from the knowledge piece, right? But if you are not really applying your knowledge and you are not working on anything, you are not developing your skill. And during interviews, you can know the theory about risk management and risk assessment. But when they ask you, how do you conduct risk assessment? That is not the time for you to recite what you know in terms of definitions. And they're asking you, how do you really do this? Right. And that is what the workshop and internship helps you to be able to, because you're actually going to do it. So if they ask you, how do you do this? It's just you telling them, oh, yeah, you do this, you do that, you do that. Right. So I was talking to a couple of people who swear heaven and earth, they know everything when it comes to cybersecurity. I mean, all they need is opportunity to get, and they'll be able to work and function on the job. I'm like, oh, really? You think you can do that? Yeah, I can do that. I know this, I know that. Okay. I'll ask them just one question. And with the risk assessment example that I just gave, how do you conduct risk assessment? Now they go round and round in circles. And then without me saying anything, okay, I know, I think I have to polish up on my, like, okay, I didn't say anything, but, everything that you've told me is bits and pieces of risk management and risk assessment, and that is all good. But, you couldn't tell me specifically what you're going to do if in my company right now, conduct a risk assessment for me. what framework are you, like what is backing what you're doing? What framework is backing the risk assessment you're going to do in the first place, right? And how are you going to implement that framework? To what risk register are you going to use? And now they are there like looking at, oh, okay, right? But they also have and they know everything. So you can know the theory all you want, but to really be able to put all the pieces together and do something, that is what the internship is going to help you to achieve, right? So on that note, you can also join our WhatsApp group and our YouTube channel. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Everything that we do Cyber Chat is posted on there. And we are going to jump into tonight's discussion that is going to be very interesting, right? So before we jump into tonight's discussion, what do you think is the highest paying career path in the cybersecurity space? Now, that is too general. Let me just limit it to, in cybersecurity, we have two major areas, right? Everything we are doing can be broken down into two, offensive and defensive. Who do you think gets paid more on the offensive side or on the defensive side? And offensive, meaning folks, professionals who are attacking. So your ethical hacker, penetration tester, forensics, and those folks. So we call them the red team. And then on the blue team, we have everybody else, your security analyst, your GRC specialist, PCI specialist, your information security assurance, your CISO, your everybody. So on both sides of the equation, who do you think gets paid, or which areas do we have the highest paying professionals? Now there's going to be a vote. So you can say on the defensive or on the offensive side, or red team or blue team. You can say any of those or put it in the chat. Who do you think gets paid more? Anyone?
The blue team.
Blue team, okay. So I see some blue in here. Anybody else?
Blue team.
Blue. Red, okay. Offensive. Okay. So I have two reds, like 4 blues or 5 blues already. Anybody else? Blue? Okay. It seems like blue is winning. Any people for red? Oh yeah. Defensive. Okay, red. There was another one for red. Blue. George. Red. Really cool. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Okay. So we can all hold on to that as we move into our discussion. And you are going to decide for yourselves, right? So let's jump in. Now, cybersecurity's highest paying career paths is what we are going to be looking at, right? Old one. So we start from there. Now we are going to look at some cybersecurity career statistics, right? I like to deal with facts. So let's start off. We are starting off and building our case. So kindly let's follow what we are doing. Like we are in court building a case for everybody to see our viewpoint, right? So the total, as of today, the total number of cybersecurity job openings in the US is 457,398. That is a fact, right? And we are going to go to where we found all these facts. Now, the total number of employed cybersecurity professionals as of today is 1,251,007. Now, the national level, the supply and demand for cybersecurity professionals is 83% national average. And what does this mean? So this means that for all cybersecurity jobs at any point in time, there are only about 83. They are able to fill it to about 83%, right? So if there are 100 cybersecurity jobs there now, when employers are looking for people to fill these roles, they are only able to fill 83 out of the 100. And that is so the supply and demand. There is more supply. There is more demand than supply. So that is why we have 83%. Right. Now, the historical growth, cybersecurity job openings, historical cybersecurity job openings is plus 68 since 2010 to 2024, right? it's been increasing. So job openings for cybersecurity have been increasing all the way up. Now, employed cybersecurity professional for the workforce, I mean, obviously, based on the historical cybersecurity job openings, we can see there are more jobs every year. So obviously, the number of cybersecurity professionals employed is also going to increase, right? Now, I think last 2 weeks, mostly we have people asking, hey, I heard people are saying cybersecurity field is saturated, right? So it's hard to get a job. Now, if it is saturated, why do we have over 400 and something unfilled cybersecurity jobs? Now, you might say, okay, Dr. Edu, this is probably BS because I applied for a role and nobody reached out to me. I mean, there is a trick to applying for the jobs and there is a way of, going about that. So if you don't know that, then you are going to run into a lot of, disappointments. So that doesn't mean there are no jobs there. The jobs are there. It doesn't mean they're also handing over the jobs like candy. Because also there's a statistics that shows that in IT in general, it takes, I think, almost 20% longer to fill a cybersecurity role than any other IT role, right? So if there is, in a company, if they need a cybersecurity analyst and they need a network engineer, the network engineer role will be filled faster than the cybersecurity role, right? So the cybersecurity role will take about, I think it's 20 to 28%, I think, stand to be corrected. So it takes longer to fill a cybersecurity role. Mostly for a cybersecurity role, you go through 3 or 4 interviews, right? So that is not to also say you wouldn't be able to get a job or to scare you, but the jobs are there, but you have to really prove yourself, right? So if you're applying and you're not getting any return, they are all saying, hey, we are moving on with the next person, or we are moving on with, I think we spoke about that or we've discussed that extensively from like January up to this point, right? If you receive that, it means no human being saw your resume. Is the ATS system that just, didn't catch enough keywords and key phrases from your resume. So they decided, not to pick you or shortlist you. And their message you receive is an automated message. That doesn't mean cybersecurity field is saturated. It means you are not working on your resume and you are not tailoring your resume to the jobs you're applying for, right? There are a lot of cybersecurity professionals here who are in the Eretmis family who have jobs already. And those folks, they've been getting interviews over and over and over again. And reason being that they know and they pay attention to tailoring their resume to the job they're applying to. It doesn't mean they're lucky. There's nothing like luck here. You have to really know how the system works and play by those rules, and you're going to be successful, right? So with that being said, let's move on to some more statistics. Now, when it comes to salary, what really, I mean, we are going to talk about the highest paying career path. That is why we are going through these statistics. So for salary, what really is the average salary when it comes to cybersecurity role, right? Now, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, for all cybersecurity roles, I think they've just labeled it one. They use information security analyst for, general term for cybersecurity roles, because you're not going to find anything like vulnerability analyst or third-party risk analyst in the Bureau of Labor Statistics chart of roles, right? Or job titles. What you find for cybersecurity is information security analyst. So we are going to use information security analyst. Now, the statistics we are going to look at is the most current from Bureau of Labor Statistics. And what they have, the last update that they had on this was April 2024. But they labeled it, everything that they have on there is 2023. By the statistics that they conducted, it takes a lot of time for them to, gather all that information and put it out there, right? So I think 2023's information is what we are going to be looking at. But if this is 2023's, average salary, then obviously there's going to be an increase by 2025, right? So the 2023 median pay for a cybersecurity information security analyst was 120, right? 120 per year. So there's some change on there. Now, it also lists that typical entry level education is bachelor's, and this can be bachelor's in anything and everything. Now, if you don't have a bachelor's, that doesn't mean you cannot still hold a security analyst role. Because how do we know? We've been there, we've done that. In Eretmis, we have a whole variety of students. Some have only high school, they've landed cybersecurity jobs making more than 120. Some have bachelor's, some have masters, right? So there's a whole category. So we can tell you on authority, if you don't have a bachelor's degree, it doesn't take anything away from you. If you have a bachelor's degree in anything, that is also a plus. You have a bachelor's degree. If you have it in IT or cybersecurity, it's even more better, right? So that is the statistics, national statistics for the median cybersecurity professional. Now, we're also going to look at some numbers for industries with the highest level of employment of cybersecurity professionals, right? So they have their industry by category. They have, kindly give me a second. So they have the computer systems design and related services. So this can be anything IT area and industries that manage management of companies and enterprises. So they have the numbers. They have per hour wages and then the annual mean or the average salary. So for these industries is 126, 121, 129, all the way to, so for accounting, tax preparation, bookkeeping, industry, cybersecurity professionals in there, on average, they are making 132, right? So the highest here is this accounting, tax, bookkeeping. For management, scientific, technical, consulting services is 118. For credit and related services is 129. So also a bit high. And employment, they are showing 40,000, 16,000, 12,000, 10,000 and change. Now this is I think the top one, two, three, four, five, six. Okay, so top five is what we are looking at. Now let's look at industries with the highest concentration of employment of cybersecurity professionals. So we are just using the information security analysts for cybersecurity professionals, right? So the monetary authorities like central bank, they have a lot of cybersecurity professionals. The computer systems design and related services, they have the highest, I think 40,000. And for computer infrastructure providers like web hosting companies and related services, they have 6,150. And for the accounting side is a 9,000. For scientific research and development is 7,690. And for the scientific research, that I think they have the accounting folks beat by 142. This is the average as for security professionals working in this industry, right? Now let's also look at the top paying industries for information security analysts. I think top paying here is 184, 184 tops it all. That is for computer and equipment manufacturing. And then we have web hosting. So live web hosting, web search portals and other information services is 182. We have media streaming, distribution, social network is 152. And all these numbers are coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Dr. Edo didn't create this, right? So all these is a fact. And you know where to go find that fact, right? For software publishers is 146. For securities, commodity contracts, and others 145. So all these are average salaries. So if I'm supposed to look, so this is to help you to gauge. I mean, now if you're a security professional looking for an opportunity, you are open to all industries. If you're already in the industry and you're looking to, okay, where can I make the most, right? You can start specifically targeting certain industries, right? And this can be a good guide for you to, tap into those industries as well. Now, states with the highest employment level of cybersecurity professionals. So Virginia, obviously, number one, California, Texas, Florida, and New York, right? And the average salaries for these states, for Virginia, 134 for average, California, 140, Texas, 119, for Florida, 113, for New York, 140. right? And these are average numbers, and this is the top 5 states with the highest employment of cybersecurity professionals. Now we are going to move on to the top paying states for information security analysts or cybersecurity professionals. So Washington is number 148. Iowa is 143. New York is 140. California, 140. New Hampshire, 139, right? And the number of people employed, you can also check that from here, right? So with that, we are going to move on into by metro area, the highest employment level of cybersecurity professionals. So by metro area, not by state, but if within a state, you can break it down. So Washington, Arlington, Alexandria area, 142. They have 16,000. New York, Newark, New Jersey side, 146. They have 11,000. So Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Texas, 6,000. They have 124. And for Atlanta area, also 124. For San Francisco, about the same. For Baltimore, Columbia, 157, pretty huge. For Boston, Cambridge area, 139. For Seattle, 154. Denver area, 127, right? And these statistics, you can find all of them on Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? So with that, we are going to look at cybersecurity career paths, right? We are talking about the highest paying career path, but it's good for us to really go back and look at what are the different career paths that we have for us to really narrow down into which ones are the highest paying, right? And at which level are we looking at, right? And then we'll probably discuss what are some of what can you do to get to that level, to be making that big money, right? So we cannot discuss cybersecurity career path without going to the NIST workforce framework for cybersecurity, right? Like I said, everything and all deductions that we are doing here is based on facts. Cybersecurity career path, people can tell you different things. This is the path, this path is there, that path is there. But there is a guided research, there is a framework that was guided by research, right? So if you go of this, you are not going to be wrong, right? So within the cybersecurity space, regardless whether you are on the red side or on the blue side, we have 7 main categories. Now they've labeled it as work role categories, right? So the NICE workforce framework, we've discussed this some cyber chats ago. This is the framework as security professionals, we're always talking about ISO 20701, NIST cybersecurity framework, that framework, RMF, right? But do you really know the framework that guides what we do that guides the cybersecurity workforce? This is it. And this is the most important framework you should know before you even start working in the cybersecurity space. But most people will just jump in and I'm going to learn RMF. And you don't even know this, right? Because what is really going to guide you throughout your whole entire journey and your career in the cybersecurity space is this one, right? So for this framework, the workforce framework, they have what we call categories. So categories, it means there's a high level grouping of all cybersecurity areas. The highest level grouping, aside we having the 2 main defensive and offensive, when you put offensive and defensive together, or even within offensive and defensive, we have the 7 categories, right? So the high level grouping of common cybersecurity functions. So the 7, we are going to look at exactly what the 7, entails. And out of the 7, we have our 52 work roles. And then for the work roles, we break it down to tax, knowledge, and skill, right? The TKS statements. And then we have the competency areas that we are also going to be looking at, right? So we are just, for tonight's discussion, we are going to limit ourselves to the 7 categories. So for the 7 categories, everything that everybody is doing in cybersecurity, falls under one of these categories. So we have oversight and governance, design and development, implementation and operations. We have protection and defense, investigation, and then we have cyberspace intelligence and cyberspace effects. So, like I said, blue side and red side put together, we all find ourselves here in one of these categories. So guess where you are going to find a lot of the red teaming stuff? The investigation side, right? Now, some of the red team, doings will spill into protection and defense and other areas as well. But here, investigation is where you're going to find your forensics and pen testing and some of those areas, right? So, with that being said, these seven, any career path or like wherever you want to go in the cybersecurity space, these should guide you in terms of the career path, right? And we are going to look a little bit extensive into these ones and the description of these major areas. That way you have a better understanding of, what we are going to discuss. So out of these seven categories is where we have 11 competencies, and then we have our tax knowledge and skill, right? And these ones we are just going to briefly touch on. But I think before we get into the hierarchy, we are going to go back to our research table and look at some research here by going through the different areas that we were looking at when we started this whole entire discussion. So I will start with where we got to for the framework. Okay, right there. All right. So if you are here and you don't know about NICCS and NICE, I encourage you to dig into them. If you go online, check NICE is the National Initiative for Cybersecurity Careers and Studies, right? So anybody who is looking to branch into cybersecurity, or if you're already in cybersecurity, I highly encourage you to really educate yourself on what you are doing and your career options and your career path, right? And everything that you find here, this is a government website, right? Run by, all contribution from all stakeholders in the cybersecurity space. So academia, corporate side, and all areas. And they are the ones who they all contributed and supported the NICE framework, right? And NICE is also another organization within the cybersecurity space. Anybody knows the full meaning for NICE? We've discussed NICE framework before. Anybody remembers what NICE stands for? You can even Google it. Is it nice for nice, or nice really means something else? Oh, did somebody put it in the chat? No, not yet. Anyone discovered what NICE stands for?
National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education.
Of course. So, like I said, we do this to give you the resources for you to do more research and to be able to make sense of what is going on in the cybersecurity space, right? So if somebody tells you, oh, cybersecurity is saturated, there's nothing in there, it's based on what? It's saturated based on what? What facts are they speaking to? Because they applied for 2 jobs and nobody said anything, right? So you have to really, Dr. Edu always want to come from a point of knowing and knowing for a fact, right? So let's jump into the NICE framework. So for the NICE framework, let me just give you a little back for folks who've not been here for the NICE workforce framework. Now, prior to this, my dates might be a little bit off. I think prior to 2008, 9, thereabout, cybersecurity, space was like a wild, wild west. Everybody was doing anything and everything that they wanted, right? Different job titles, different. I mean, still, it's still kind of there, but it's more a bit guided, right? So the government of the United States, I think that time it was President Barack Obama. They gave the tax to. I mean, the Department of Commerce is in charge of cybersecurity overall, and they assigned, I think, NIST and some other groups within the government space to do a research. And really, because the workforce, there was a such a, like a shortage of cybersecurity work for, like people to work in cybersecurity, right? So they were trying to find out what really is going on and why this shortage. Because academia didn't have the trained people. There really was that shortage, and even up to this point, there is that shortage. So, as one of the initiatives to really boost, people to get into the cybersecurity workforce, they wanted to really make sense of what is going on in the cybersecurity space. So the group was taxed. I think it took them almost 6 years thereabout to do the research and come up with this framework, right? So all that they did was they talked to almost everybody who had a cybersecurity professional working for them, all industry players, and they gathered all the job titles and what they were doing in those job titles. And after gathering everything, they were able to put them into groups. And that is what you see, the categories. So all of it broad, high level, they were able to put them into 7 main categories. And then they broke it down to, they used to call it specialty areas, right? And then they broke it down to like what you need in terms of like the roles. So the specific roles that people were in, and they broke it down to the skills, the tasks that you are supposed to perform in these roles, and the tax comes with skills and knowledge and skills that you need. So that is what I always preach about, knowledge and skill. You cannot do what you don't know. And if you know something and you don't do, your knowledge is just knowledge, right? And in the cybersecurity space, both, you work with both. You cannot do what you don't know. So you have to know first the knowledge piece, and then you have to do, right? So as you have the knowledge, you are doing, so you are building your skill. And we need both as a security professional, right? So that is the genesis of how this framework came to be. Now they've modified it. I think this is the second modification because they are polishing it, right? The industry is not stagnant. It keeps, growing. So they also keep polishing it up to make it more relevant. Now, for every career that you choose or your career path falls under these seven main roles, right? So the work role categories, it used to be called only categories previously, but it's work role categories because they've modified it, right? Now, we talked about, we have 7, right? We have oversight and governance. So for oversight and governance, guess what they do? So oversight and governance, they provide leadership, management direction, and advocacy. So the organization may effectively manage cybersecurity related risks to the enterprise and conduct risks and conduct cybersecurity work. Right. Now, when you come to design and development, it covers the broad area. And what do they do within this broad area? So they conduct research, conceptualize, design, develop, and test security technology, and test secure technology systems, including on-prem, on perimeter and cloud based networks. Right now, we have implementation and operation. What do? They provide implementation, administration, configuration, operation and maintenance to ensure effective and efficient technology system performance and security. Now, when it comes to protect and defend, what do? They protect against identifies, analyzes risks to technology systems or network, including investigation of cybersecurity events, crime related to technology systems and networks. So folks on here, like I said, they work closely with the investigation side also as well, because you can find your forensics people who are on the red team, also ethical hackers and pen testers are also going to be on this side. At the same time, you have your investigation, category, which for investigation, they conduct national cybersecurity and cybercrime investigations, including the collection, management, and analysis of digital evidence, right? And then we have the cyberspace intelligence. So they collect, processes, analyzes, and disseminate information from all sources of intelligence on foreign actors, cyberspace programs, in intentions, capabilities, research and development, and operational activities. Now, previously, cyber intelligence was not a broader category, right? But this new version has included this because the industry is growing. There are new trends, new threats, and vulnerabilities. So they have to cover everything. Now, cyberspace efforts also they plan, support, and execute cyberspace capabilities where the primary purpose is to externally defend or conduct force projections in or through space, the cyberspace. Now, when you look at these, and reason why we are looking at the actual website is to help us make sense out of this. So for this is the broader category. If we click on this, right, it shows us the work role. So this is the broad categorization of the different job titles that you are looking at, right? So if you scroll all the way, you see communication security management, so ComSec management, cybersecurity policy and planning, cybersecurity workforce management, cybersecurity curriculum development. So this is more on the academic side. So you are responsible for developing, planning, coordinating for folks. If you're on here, you want to, jump into the training side of cybersecurity, guess where you will fall under this category. And if you come here, you'll be able to read more and know more about the skills you need and what you need to be successful in this area, right? Cybersecurity instructions. So responsible for conducting awareness training and education in cybersecurity, right? Cybersecurity legal advice. If you're a lawyer, you want to branch into cybersecurity, you fall under oversight and governance. Now, executive cybersecurity leadership. So your CISO, your CSO, your anybody in the C-suite managing cybersecurity, they fall under this category, right? Privacy, compliance fall under this category. Program management and project management, you fall under this category. Security control assessment, auditors, you also fall under this space. System authorization, system security management, technology, portfolio management, technology, program auditing, they all fall under this category, right? Now, I want everybody to pay attention to the categories, right? Even if this is the first time of you seeing it, pay attention. Now, we are just going to brush through them and then move on, right? Now, for design and development, you have cybersecurity architecture, right? So designing, setting up your whole entire cybersecurity, for a company, setting up a whole cybersecurity setup for a company from scratch falls under here. Enterprise architecture, your secure software development, secure software systems development, software security assessment, software testing, system testing and evaluation, right? So as you can see, design and development is a bit more technical, right? Now let's look at implementation and operations. So for implementation and operations, we have data analysis, database administrator, knowledge management, network operations, system admin, system security analyst or analysis, technical support. They all fall under this space, right? Now we move into protect and defend. So for protect and defend, defensive cybersecurity, digital forensics, incident response, infrastructure support, insider threat analysis, vulnerability analysis, you all fall under. So if you're vulnerability management analyst, a vulnerability manager, you fall under this space, right? Now for investigate, you have crime, cybercrime investigation, digital evidence analysis. So 2 roles under investigate. Now for the cyberspace intelligence, we have all source analysis, all source collection management, all the way to multidiscipline language analysis also as well. And then for cyber effect, we have cyber operations planning, mission assessment, target analysis, and the list goes on. Right. Now, for each of these, right, if you click on, so let's take, for example, let's use the leadership, executive cybersecurity leadership, right? That will take you to the page for executive leadership. Now, what we are going to find out is what is the tax of an executive. So anybody in executive leadership in cybersecurity space, what are they really going to do, right? This breaks it down. You are responsible for establishing the vision and direction for your company cybersecurity operations and resources, and their impact on digital and physical space. You should possess authority to make and execute decisions that impact an organization broadly, including policy, approval, and stakeholder engagement. Right. So if we come down here, it breaks down your tax, what you're supposed to do under this role. Right. So for if you work in HR and you're supposed to put out uh, like you've been taxed to put out, let's say, put out a job. Well, I mean, we have a vacancy for a CISO. Where do you get the items for what they are going to do? This is where you should come to get what they are supposed to do. You pick what applies to your company and you are going to use it. Now, for each of these tax, right, it comes with the knowledge and skill you need to be able to do each of these ones, each single one of these, right? So if you go down here, this is the knowledge you need. So the knowledge statement. So the knowledge statement gives you the list. So you should know knowledge of operational planning, knowledge of computer network, knowledge of cybersecurity operations policies and procedures, knowledge of privacy laws and regulations, knowledge of cybersecurity policies and procedures, knowledge of laws and regulations, knowledge of cybersecurity threats, knowledge of vulnerabilities, and the list goes on, right? Now let's look at the skills, what you should be able to do. So knowing is good, but what can you do? So you should be skilled in developing policy plans, a policy plan, evaluating laws, evaluating regulations, evaluating policies, applying critical thinking, identifying customer information needs, establishing priorities, communicating effectively, performing risk assessment, executing comprehensive cybersecurity operations assessment program, right? And the list goes on. So this is what you are supposed to be able to do, right? And this is what you are supposed to know. So that is why they said knowledge of, knowledge of, knowledge of. Now, if you look here, skills in, so you have the skill in this, you are skilled in that, it means you can do it, right? So this is what employers are supposed to use to draft their job descriptions that they post out there. Some do, some don't even know this framework exists, which is that is a subject for another day, right? So this is a tool for you to, come here and look at what you really need. So if for any career path that you want to go on, I mean, we are looking at this and somebody's like, okay, I think the governance and oversight space is something that I can do because most of the stuff on here, I have something similar, some skills in that area already. So it's very easy for me to, leverage that onto this side, right? So with that being said, we are just going to look briefly at the research that we looked at before we jump into which is the highest paying path, right? So for the Bureau of Labor Statistics, this is the website. If you come down here, everything that you need is here, right? So you can go to the different tabs and it's going to show you everything that we looked at. So this is it right here. There's 120, not by Dr. Edu, but Bureau of Labor Statistics. So if Bureau of Labor Statistics is wrong, then we are right. Now, if you go to cyberseek.org, this is the website that tracks the demand for cybersecurity professionals in real time, right? And this is the number as of today is 457,000 open cybersecurity jobs out there, right? Total number of employed cybersecurity professionals is 1.2 million. Now, the national average for demand and supply, if you click on this, it tells you a comparison of the number of available cybersecurity workers related to employment demand in a particular location displayed as a percentage. So the national average is 33%, meaning there are only enough cybersecurity workers in the United States to fill 83% of cybersecurity jobs that employers demand. So this is not what Tedu saying. This is facts. Now for historical cybersecurity employment, it's been going up all the way 68%. For historical employment in cybersecurity, it's been going up. So if anybody says it's saturated, don't know what they are smoking. For historical supply and demand, supply has been going, demand has been going up, supply is less. So you see the trend from 2010, supply is going downhill. Now it even up a little bit, is going, that way, right? And if you come down here, what we just saw, oversight and governance, development and design, implementation and operations, protection and defense, right? These are the 7 categories or the 7 work role categories, right? And they have it by, in each category, the number of job openings that are there. So you can see that in oversight and governance, there are more jobs there than any other area, right? So it's 314,000 jobs, right? Design and so I think no implementation and operations follows, and then like the list. Now, when you click on this, right, it takes you further. It shows you the different areas under this and the number of cybersecurity professionals needed in that area, right? So this is something for you to also use to investigate more. Right now, if you come to the certifications, it shows you jobs, openings that are requesting certifications, how many openings are requesting which certification. That is all listed on here. Now, this is by no means all the certifications that we have in cybersecurity space, but at least they have to get something for the list, right? And then for people holding certifications, this is the list right here. And I think they got this from the certification bodies, right? So with this out of the way, let's jump into which area or which career path makes the most money, right? And we are going to do this analysis based on the 7 work roles, because those are the 7 main career paths that you have in cybersecurity, right? You have 7 main career paths in cybersecurity, and those are the ones that we just looked at. Now we are going to look at cybersecurity workforce hierarchy. So obviously for the workforce hierarchy, we start with entry level. So your entry level mostly is 0 to 2 years or 0 to 2.5 years. Certifications, it can be certification or no certification. You can start in cybersecurity. If you have a certification, it's nice, it's good. If you don't, it doesn't take anything away from you, but we encourage you to at least get a certification or 2 if you want to grow in the security space, right? So for these roles, for entry level roles, you have security analyst 1, SOC analyst 1, IT security technician, incident response technician, cybersecurity intern, vulnerability. So there's a list of them: cybersecurity analyst, and junior security analyst, and a host of others. Right now, as we move on, when you move into the intermediate level, now the salary or who is the highest paying. Well, the entry level, intermediate level, and advanced level has a part to play in it. But really, your career path will really determine how much you'll be able to make, right? So somebody can be in entry level in one path and be making more than somebody who is intermediate level in another, right? So it's not if only you are in the advanced level or intermediate level that you're going to be making more than. It doesn't really work that way necessarily. So for mid-level, we are looking at tier 2 more. We are looking more at, so for entry level is more foundational. So mid-level, more operational. We are looking at tier 2. And for tier 2, for mid-level, we have 2 to 5 years for work experience. And for certifications, yes, you can have these ones listed, but there's more. And some of the roles, SOC analyst 2, you have incident responder, threat hunter, GRC analyst, GRC specialist, information security analyst, and others, right? Now, with that being said, we are going to move on to the next hierarchy, which is the senior level, right? So the senior level is more strategic. That will be tier 3. So for senior level, we are looking at 5 to 10 years. You are going to be managing people and managing programs. So some of the titles, you see senior with most of these titles. So you can have the senior analyst, a senior cybersecurity analyst, senior cybersecurity architect, incident response, cybersecurity consultant, and the list goes on, right? So any role that has senior to it, that can be placed under. This is your advanced. So your intermediate, entry level, intermediate, advanced. This is more in the advanced space. And then after that, we have the leadership and executive level, which is the highest hierarchy when it comes to the advanced level, right? So for them, they are the ones responsible for setting goals, aligning the security of the company with the business of the company. 10 years plus for total work experience. Now, certifications in this space can be CISSP, CISA, SIM, and others, right? So some of the roles, CISO, CSO, CIO, Director of Cybersecurity, Cybersecurity Programs Manager, Governance Lead, the head of your Security Operations Center, right? So any of these can, we can say, like these are some of the advanced roles. So based on entry level all the way to the advanced and executive, level, your salary, I mean, obviously, if you are just looking at it by hierarchy, then obviously, folks within the leadership executive, they are making, bigger money than, folks in lower levels, right? But sometimes in security, it doesn't necessarily work that way, right? So let's look at something. Let's do some statistics. Who is the highest paying career? What is the highest paying career, or what is the highest paying career path? So for the career path, we are looking at it from the perspective of the 7 main categories that we have in cybersecurity side, right? So if we are looking at from $50,000 to 350,000. That is the limit that we are using, right? Now, within 50,000 to 350,000, what are we looking at? So this is the legend for our table, our bar chart that we are going to have. The senior level is the one that is deep blue, and then light blue is your mid level, then entry level. So for your governance overall, the career path that is the most paying, right, is your oversee and govern, right? And that was the one that we saw. That is where you have your CISO, those folks, and then you have your legal and everybody else in that space, right? So for the entry level, at least they will make 100K and up. For intermediate level, at least 150 up, going all the way to 200 thereabout. Now for advanced level, they are making upwards of 350 plus, right? And that goes for the different roles also as well, right? So, but looking at this, what I would say is for everybody else, if you're entry level, regardless, nobody should be taking less than 100K. We saw the national average, right? But in conclusion, who is the highest, or what is the highest paying career path? Obviously, that goes to oversight, and govern, right? That goes to oversight and govern. So we know the highest paying career path, oversight and govern. That 350 plus is what they are making. So for, if you are looking for a career path, wherever you are right now, if you're already in the security space, you can start looking at branching into, because there's a lot that you can do within the oversight and govern. And the best part about this is, let's go back and take a look at something. When we look at oversight and govern, there is a lot that you can do without necessarily having a cybersecurity background to begin with, right? Oversight and govern is right here. Now, for oversight and govern, we saw the different work roles, right? There's a whole list of them. So if you're already in education, guess what? There's something for you. If you're already doing legal stuff, there's something for you. If you're already in compliance, whatever, project management, name it, all of them, they fit here. And there are more jobs available here also as well than any other. And that is a fact. That is not me. We just saw it, right? So, and if you click on any of these, it takes you through. And obviously, when it comes to leadership of the organization, to lead in cybersecurity within the organization to executive level, they all fall under oversight and govern, right? So I'm not surprised oversight and govern is the highest paying career path in the cybersecurity space, right? So people, we started with blue team and red team. All that is good. Now, regardless of blue team or red team, wherever you find yourself, this is the highest paying career path. Not saying all other career paths, you're not going to make good money. You're going to make good money, but which one is the highest paying? So I think our case is well made. Any questions on who won this argument in terms of the highest paying career path? I think the case is well made, right? So with that, we are going to jump into our closing remarks, and then we give some shout outs and we wrap up for tonight, right? Now, like I said from the beginning, we have our cloud, our AI governance. This also falls under oversight and govern when it comes to the AI space, right? So AI governance class is ongoing. Our next cohort is yet to begin. If you are looking to get ahead in terms of GRC, the AI GRC space, AI governance is the place to be. Now for cloud, every cybersecurity professional, you have to be well vested in the cloud as well. We encourage you to join our cloud security course. It comes with live sessions as well, together with internship. And the AI course also the same live sessions together with internship. And our cybersecurity entry level course for anybody looking to begin a career in the cybersecurity space. So this will take you from where you are to where you can start making six figures as a cybersecurity professional. And you are going to know, and you are also going to be able to do, right? Because for us, just look at the analysis that we did. We're not just going to train you and give you theory and leave you hanging. Whatever we do, we believe in doing, right? So you are going to do exactly what you're going to need on the job. Now, for our payment security PCI DSS course, this is for folks already in the cybersecurity space or in IT space already. If you are totally new in cybersecurity, we encourage you to go with the entry-level course, not the PCI course, because this is a specialty, a niche within the cybersecurity space. So without having a solid cybersecurity background, you wouldn't do well in this. If anybody is telling you to go do PCI and you have no cybersecurity background or IT background, then you should know you are not being advised well, right? Because for us, we are not just selling a course, but we want what is going to be best for you. Now, for our cybersecurity internship, our GRC internship and workshop, this is the second portion of our entry-level course, but for everybody else who've done RMF, some cybersecurity training, GRC training elsewhere, but you are liking the hands-on that employers are looking for, we are also going to allow you to join this and take part in the projects that we work on during this program, right? We work on 10 major projects during this program. And for everybody looking to join our WhatsApp group, we encourage you to do so. We are going to post the link in the chat. And if there are any questions, you can kindly bring it up whilst we are wrapping up. And for folks who are looking to, recertified for any of the certifications that you might have, kindly put Team Live, hashtag Team Live in the chat, and you should be able to use that to renew your certification, right? So the link and everything has been posted in there. For if you are totally new here, we encourage you to start with our Cybersecurity for Beginners course. If you go to our website, you'll be able to see that and start off with that. Very educative and very informative. Now we are going to give some shout outs to everybody else who is joining us. So we have, some Team Lives in there. Martin from Pella, joining us from Pella. Fred, San Francisco, and some Team Lives in there. Then we have okay, Pam joining us from I'm not sure where you're joining us from, Pam. Then we have Leslie from Minnesota, joining us from Minnesota. Helen joining us from Houston. Matthew joining us from Atlanta. Manuel joining us from Worcester. Okay, Worcester. And I think if there are any questions, okay, what about like don't have experience? Okay, if you don't have experience in the cybersecurity space, like I said, there's always a place for you to start. Start with a free course, get into the cybersecurity entry level course, and that will help you to go through that and then get into the internship, and then you'll be able to land your first cybersecurity job. So the WhatsApp link has also been posted. Everybody, okay. Oh, okay. Lastly, so if interested in having a roadmap to PCI DSS expert, so how can you start from cybersecurity for beginners and then move into PCI? Okay, so for you start from not cybersecurity for beginners, but if you are totally new and you want to have go through a career path to PCI, mostly we encourage you to start from the entry level course. The entry level course takes you through cybersecurity, right? The first portion, you go through cybersecurity fundamentals, basics, all the way to when we say fundamentals and basics, people think it's an introductory course. No, it takes you deep into all areas of cybersecurity, like networking, cryptography, identity and access management, cybersecurity architecture and design, right? It takes you deep into all these areas. So once you're done, you know all the moving pieces in the cybersecurity space. Now, then once you're done, we move you into the internship. And for the first 2 months, you're also going to use some of the popular tools, build your own cybersecurity lab. We guide you through, use some of the popular tools in cybersecurity. You also have to know how to use a tool or two. And then we move you into the internship. The internship is where you get the actual hands-on. So for the internship, you also work on different projects within the GRC space and beyond, right? So once you're done, you are ready to work in the cybersecurity space. If you want, you can jump into the PCI class at that time because you have a very solid background in cybersecurity, right? So that is the path, right? Instead of if anybody tells you they are going to move you straight into a PCI course or third-party risk management or whatever course, and you have no background in cybersecurity, kindly be careful and do your research, right? We also ran a PCI course. We could have easily told you, yeah, with no background, yes, come and join. It's not, we are not after your money, right? We're after what is going to help you. But sometimes people don't want to hear it. They just want you to, tell them the sweet stuff and, oh, yeah, you can do it, come in. Because the PCI, third party, whatever course you are going to do, you need a foundation in cybersecurity. If your foundation is non-existent, like we also, you need the knowledge, the skill. The knowledge is not just teaching you PCI. You need the knowledge in cybersecurity to back what you're going to do in PCI because PCI is taught in cybersecurity. Third party is taught in cybersecurity. That's a language. You don't understand that language. How well do you think you are going to do? It's like me teaching you engineering in French, but you don't understand French. But you're insisting you can do the engineering course in French, right? So that will be my advice, right? So uh, the links have been posted in there. Kindly check. You can find the YouTube, the WhatsApp, all of them. Yeah, so yes, if you do the entry level course, there are a lot of them on here who went through entry level and they've secured jobs. The entry level is a full package. It takes you from zero to a full cybersecurity professional, right? So it's not like the reason why you have to go through that to do any of our follow-up, niche courses is to give you that foundation, right? We don't want you to go through the program and once you're done, if you have to go to interviews and they are asking you basic cybersecurity stuff, you are totally lost. And then you'll be of the view the course didn't help you. But no, you didn't help yourself or somebody didn't, tell you the truth because you need a foundation to be able to do anything in the cybersecurity space, right? So whichever way you want to go in cybersecurity, you need the foundation in terms of knowledge, foundation in terms of skill, and then you build on that, right? So hopefully that answers your question, Abraham. Yes. And Isaac said, I like your honesty. I wasted money somewhere and I wish I would have known. Yes. So, Abraham is, so Isaac, I mean, I tell it as it is, but sometimes people don't want to hear it. right? They just want you to tell them, what is going to be sweet in their ears. And when they are done and they find out later that, oh, that wasn't what it was supposed to be, then, they'll be like, okay, maybe Dr. Edu did us wrong. But here, nobody can come back and tell us, okay, what you told us wasn't true. Or we later discovered this wasn't that. Or, sometimes people who might probably be coming off that way are people who didn't listen. So, for example, somebody will come and say, I want to do the GRC internship. We are like, you need a background in cybersecurity to do the GRC internship. Oh, I know it all. I've done this, I've done that, I've done that. We don't know what you know. So we are okay, based on what you've told us, you can do the internship. Now, when they are being bombarded with project after project after project in the internship, and they realize they have a lot of gaps in knowledge, now they are like, well, you're not taking time to break it down and explain this to us. Explain what? We are doing projects and we told you this is where we are doing projects. We are not here to take you to the basics and fundamentals. That is in the entry level. But sometimes they'll be looking at cost. Oh, the entry level is 5,500. This is 3,000. So, okay, this is cheaper. Let me jump onto that. Really, it is not about cost, right? You want to build a foundation to be able to make 350, 120, 100. Like if somebody goes through medical school, they go through nursing school and they are done. Are they making 150 from just the get-go? Right. So if you want to do a course for 6, 7 months, and even if it takes you a year to get a job, what have you really lost if you took your time to build a strong foundation? Sometimes we don't want to be real, right? We just want to be, oh, John is doing it. He just did 2 weeks of training and he's making 120. No, if you want to make this a career, because when John, eventually the system is going to catch up with John, he's going to get fired, or if he loses the contract, see how easy it will be for John to land another job. I know people who are doing 3 jobs. Eventually, they got fired from all 3 jobs. Now they can't find any job. They've been going to interview after interview. And they're probably doing it. They did the 3 jobs for like 2 years, a year. Why are they struggling to land another cybersecurity job? Because the foundation, the knowledge, and the skills, they were not there. And they found themselves in a job that, probably they were not doing much. So they were able to wing it and hang on to their life till it caught up with them, or there was no contract anymore for them to do. Right. So I'm always a big advocate. Dig your foundation well. Make sure you're building a very strong foundation. When you are done, how high you can build your skyscraper will depend on you, right? And mostly, like for example, if you go through entry level all the way to the end, you don't even have to necessarily apply for entry level roles. You can even hold intermediate. Almost everybody that came from the entry level, they are holding intermediate level roles. Some are even cybersecurity managers because of what they did in the internship, and also because of the knowledge they have from the first portion of the entry level. Right. So that is my advice to everybody. Everybody whom I talk to, I'll let you know, hey, foundation is key. Make sure you have a very strong foundation, because that is what is going to hold you throughout the whole entire career. Right. Okay, so Bobby is here. Bobby said entry level is great. He landed his first job as ISO or ISO and was surely recommended. I mean, Bobby is on here. So if you think what I'm saying doesn't really work, you can ask most of the folks on here who've gone through the entry level. So I appreciate everybody's time. We are wrapping up for tonight. Thank you very much. Hopefully everybody gained something from this session. Like I always say, we ensure that you get something for your toolbox. And all the resources that were shared, please don't let it just sit. Go to these websites, research more, right? Find out more about if you want to make this a career, be a student of the industry. Like I think Bobby is there are some military folks on here. When I wanted to join the army some months ago, guess what I did? Okay, so let me look at the rank structure. Who is after what? Who does what? And right, you have to. It's not going to come natural to you. When we go to basic training and they don't teach you ranks. They don't teach you. You have to learn about the trade. You have to learn about what you want to do. That is why we do sessions like this to help you know. Okay, so this is what is guiding the whole entire cybersecurity workforce. Nobody's going to teach you this. People on here, some have bachelors in cybersecurity, masters in cybersecurity. Who can tell me they were taught this in school, in their masters or in their bachelors? Nobody. I can tell you that on authority. Nobody. Right? Some of your teachers and lecturers don't even know about this. So if you have this, it's a privilege. Kindly don't let it just pass away. Dig into it. Be well informed about the cybersecurity space if you want to make this a career. So on that note, we are wrapping up for tonight. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. We're going to have Cyber Chat same time. We're still going to be here same time next week for another edition of Cyber Chat. Stay blessed and have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thanks, Dr.